Hey guys, and welcome to a rather special King of the Hill. It is going to be randomly decided lords and factions using a really cool mechanic we'll get to in just a little bit. And we're doing this to celebrate, of course, hitting 4,000 subscribers, which is honestly pretty insane, I'm not going to lie. It's some pretty crazy stuff, so thank you all for the support. And this is my little way of going back to you, doing a pretty fun King of the Hill, bringing it back. We haven't done a King of the Hill in quite some time, actually, in a very long time. I haven't seen any other YouTuber do them as well for at least the last couple of months. I know people are currently being taken over by the Warhammer World Championship and so forth. We'll be doing a stream with that in tomorrow. But for today, we will be doing the mighty King of the Hill. So let's have a quick nice little look at the list and see who is going to be competing today. So up first, we're going to have Deadly Duck Dastardly, which is also known as Deadly Bunnies, up against Noob for Life, followed by Raptor, Way, Ducknut, Stormrunner, and Legion. We also have a mixture of people waiting in the wings in case some people do drop out and so forth, which does happen in King of the Hills. We've got Consular Rome, Artesian, I want to say what his name is, Bob Tresh, Ice Power, Ilmatar, a ton of different people who can hop in if so needs be. And it looks like the lads are here. Hey, hey. So I have absolutely no idea which one of these guys is Bunnies and which one is Noob for Life. I think the one on the right is Noob for Life. Let me quickly check their Steam profiles. View Steam profile. So the one on the right is indeed Noob for Life. Perfect, perfect. So let's double check. And yes, we even have the scoreboards on the right way around. Oh, so professional. So guys, there's something really cool called Randall's Gift. So let's hop onto it right now. Badoom! It will literally randomly pick a faction for you as well as a lord. And I'll just let the players know that we're going to be doing that now. Gonna do lords now. Cool, so let's hop over to the Wheel of Doom. So all I have to do is press this Randall Gifts button. Hopefully you guys can see this on your screen. Fingers crossed it's actually working properly and that I don't leave it on either during a battle, because that is something I would do. So hopefully you guys are seeing what I am seeing. And ba-boom. Fingers crossed we are picking factions at the moment. Let me get my chat up on my phone as well so I can see your guys' glorious faces. What's up, Blackthorn? What's up, Raptor? Ad as well. Saeed, how's it going? So it looks like on the left, of course, we're starting with Deadly Bunnies. He's going to be Skaven and Lord Skroak, which is pretty scary stuff. So, Skaven, Lord Skroak, let's write that down. And then for Noob for Life, so SK Skroak, and he shall be facing off against... Oh, okay, Balthazar, Gelt, and Empire. That's a pretty wild start. Honestly, Skaven vs Empire should be a fun game. Balthazar Gelt is by far a less competitive lord choice than the mighty Lord Skroak, but still. We don't talk to terrorists, oh god. So, Bunnies is Skroak, and Noob is Gelt. We'll be facing on Troll Country for the first map as well. What's up, Legion? How's it going, man? Do we get a chance to reroll once? Oh no, Legion. If you get a bad hand, it is unfortunately all you get. Also, boy, you're going to have a replay up on the channel relatively soon, I think. I believe I looked through one and it looked pretty good. Reroll is for the weak. Blackthorn sums it up pretty nicely there. It is, unfortunately, whatever terrible faction you get, you get. Now, this is a relatively small map, which is actually going to help out the Empire quite a bit. Skaven are a really scary long-range... well, I mean, they're good in absolutely everything, but one of their big problems is their very good long range, which, of course, on Troll Country, you kind of swarm with cavalry rather effectively, and going all cav is sometimes an option. Both these guys are friends and do love a good meme as well, so we're probably going to see some pretty crazy battles today, and it's all in good fun. It isn't a tournament, I'm trying to think, so... What's up, Xavier? Looks like he's happily having some lunchtime. And Mr. Swiss Pikeman, always good to see you back. And we have the mighty Fizz as well. Lost another game against Turin, but the man also plays really well. Man, Turin's a very good player. He's super humble about it. So he'll always say, oh, I'm not a top tier player. He is very, very good. I'd say he's kind of just below like the Aristocratics, Falcon, Soothsayer, that type of player. He's kind of like just below, and he can take them on a good day as well. So don't be ashamed whatsoever if you get beaten by him. He's pretty scary. Congratulations, Duck. Thank you, man. Honestly, I'm really happy. Thank you, Raptor, as well, for the 4K subs. It's pretty crazy. We definitely hopped up to 4K pretty quickly from 2K, I think it was. We actually skipped the free 1,000 sub celebration. But at 5K, we're going to be doing another giveaway as well, which probably will be another Lord of the Rings themed duck. Spoiler alert, but you never know. We might do another prize as well. It depends. Depends how we go. I also had an artist contact me recently who I want to do some work for the channel, but it's a little bit pricey, but at the same time I might get them to make up a Warhammer / like duck cover photo or something, and then do some of those, maybe like signed ones of those or something for giveaway. Could be funny, or even maybe be able to put them on t-shirts and stuff, but that'll also require contacting someone who does t-shirts and all that kind of good bits. But here we are going to have 7 guaranteed players at least, and all of them got some pretty damn good players today, ones who do love a good crazy game or two. We will be picking relatively competitive maps towards the end. If the chat does demand, we may switch over to some Raptor-themed maps if we do allow him to pick the maps. For those who don't know and are relatively new to the channel, Raptor loves the interesting maps in Total War Warhammer. So, Black Ark Landing, that type of good stuff. Let's have a little drink. My voice is a bit dead, unfortunately, so it's kind of good. King of the Hill streams don't tend to be too long. They tend to be about an hour and a half to 2 hours long, as I did do a hour-long video yesterday on the Lizardmen tier list. I'm very interested to see what people think about it, because I play Lizardmen maybe a bit different to how other people play it, and tier lists are always super controversial. People kind of yelling and screaming that you're completely wrong and you're a fool, and, you know, Argosotic is actually OP, and all of this kind of crazy stuff. So I put a few things on the list which are certainly going to be tickle people's sides a little bit. I have a high opinion on some units and low opinion on others, which, you know, other people have vice versa and so forth. Oh, that's some good water. That's some good stuff. Perfectly balanced maps. Yeah, Raptor's like the Thanos of the Total War Warhammer world. Loves everything to be as balanced as possible. Just going to quickly check Discord here, make sure we have no questions from anyone else who is trying to join the list. Looks like Cyrus is saying good luck all. Cyrus is a true champ as well. I don't know if he's in here in our chat today, but Cyrus does kind of welcome everyone with a glorious duck if you do join the Discord. And that's how you get involved in these type of events. It's basically just all done through my Discord, which is nice and easy. The Dowie agrees, yes! Oh man, I've got some really cool Dowie replays in the vault I need to kind of pull out from Grombrindle and get up on the channel. I just feel like we had a load of Dowie replays in a row, so kind of chilling out for them a little bit. Sloth says, I like Heaven Slan, but I get the value in him having Skink do it instead. Oh yeah, from my tier list, yeah, for sure. Like, the Slan of Heavens, I don't hate him. Like, I maybe was a bit harsh on him in the tier list, but because of the Skink Priest of Heavens, that does pretty much the same job, apart from Sea Shield of the Old Ones, or of Quetzal, Blood Statue of Spite, that kind of stuff. I think he had to get moved down, but just because something's lowish down on the tier list doesn't mean it's absolutely garbage or I don't use it. Unless it's in, like, you know, the very bottom, for example. Thank you. It says, no, your assessment of the Lizardman is very good. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it's kind of like general knowledge, and then a few bits that just kind of come down to opinion at the end. Spencer says, I have a strong feeling your channel is going to explode come Warhammer 3, especially if you keep up with the diverse content. Well, thanks so much, man. Hopefully it will do. I was really desperately trying to rush to kind of like the 8,000 sub mark before Warhammer 3, so I can get the earliest early access, if that makes sense. Like, CA basically like level you up depending on your subscriber count. So at the moment I get early access, but there's, you know, the big channels kind of get it even before you and can start bringing out content, which is really useful, because otherwise you kind of get a little bit suffocated down at the bottom with so much work already out there. I sense Nakai. Oh man, I love Nakai. I hope we get a Nakai later on, and the battle is ready to rumble. Of course, this is a completely random Lords, random faction. It is up to the gods on what factions we do get to play today. Oh, looks like Bunnies is hopping in and out, perhaps trying to conjure up a little bit of mind games there for Noob for Life. These guys, well, I think Deadly Bunnies is only the clan PE. Noob for Life is also Extreme Meme Team, XMD, all that good stuff, as well as PE as well. Oh man, Exploding Hamster's such a cool dude. He's so chill. He brings some really fun builds, so always got to shout out the Mr. Exploding Hamster. And also, what a name. What a name. Exploding Hamster. I wonder how he came up with that. Oh yeah, someone was asking me about my the title of the channel and how I came up with it. I'll explain that, I guess, in the downtime between the next battles, if someone does indeed remind me. Let's have a quick little look, make sure I didn't leave up the Randall's gift. Nope, you guys can see the screen, thank God. So for the forces of the mighty Skaven, it is bad to the bones, looking very rush heavy, which is to be expected on such a map. And oh my god, this build's so gangster. So coming in with Plague Monks as a main battle line, it looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units in fact. And then we have Rat Ogres, Pit Fighters of Hell's Deep, More rat ogres, so a just mixture of like elite infantry, which is going to tear its way through state troops very quickly, and a load of scary rat ogres. We have double wolf rats, one of which has poison, one is the regular variety. We have 2 chieftains, both on their Bonebreaker mounts. Bonebreaker mounts look incredibly cool. They do give Shield of Distraction, which is -5 melee attack. I'm assuming those don't stack, however. They have Frenzy, Molder Monster, Scare Away, all that good stuff. These guys look so ferocious. I'll have to try and zoom in and see some of their animations when they do come to the fold. And of course we have Lord Skrog, which is he had to bring. Leo Bubonicus, as well as the Roll of Corruption. All the good standard stuff. Going to be coming in with Plague, interestingly enough. Blessed with Filth, and Awe of Pestilence. So no summons. Okay, wild stuff. For the forces of the Empire, we have a lovely little air corps. So Balthasar Gelt, of course, is going to be leading the forces on his Pegasus. Coming in with the Staff of Valanus, or Volanus, or whatever it's called. Arcane Conduit, Final Transmutation, and Plague of Rust. Double Empire Captain up on the Pegasus as well, in a bodyguard situation. Very cool stuff. We have a ton of spearmen in the front line. Cheap, cheerful, not too happy to be here, but they are fine for Sigma, so yeah, a little bit happy. We have Sigma's Sons, Regiment of Renowned Swordsmen, Flagellants as well. And more swordsmen in the distance. Knights of Blazing Sun on one flank. Stirlanders Revenge on the other. Regiment of Renowned, 3 Company Militia. They're going to have a good time with their pistols if they can make some good targets. And the real key part of this build is 4 units of archers. These guys need to stay alive and active. They shred absolutely everything in this Skaven build, but can he protect them? It's going to be tough. He doesn't have the biggest front line. Deathjacks over on the right-hand side as well. Knights of the Blazing Sun, as well as some more Knights of the Blazing Sun on the other side. Now, this hero corps is going to have to be scary busy to help protect the archer line, because this front line is going to fall disgustingly fast with so many just lawnmower units in the Skaven build. But if they can hold and the archers can rain terror down, they need to focus down those rat ogres, focus down the plague monks. They'll do absolutely fine. Oh, this looks so good. Hola, Skinks! What's up, Bob? How's it going, man? Nakai is always lurking. He's always just watching from the undergrowth. He's like a creepy uncle. Nakai, just no one really wants him there. Well, no, you kind of want to like him, but you can't. That's unfortunately. I hope Nakai gets some serious love soon. I agree. I think he definitely needs a bit of a buff. Rats without poison wind. That's rare. Oh, for sure. I mean, this map, it kind of makes sense. But with these guys obviously having some fun as well with their builds. Nothing too crazy OP or competitive. Wolf rats are hiding there in the wings. Maybe could even jump the Knights of Blazing Sun from behind. If they can get the charge, they can certainly do some decent damage. But rat ogres are going to be leading the forefront here. Really starting to push in as quickly as possible. Arrows do fly and start piercing their skin as the spearmen try to charge them in. But plague monks are going to be getting that lovely counter charge. And I don't think we're ever going to see spearmen fall quite as quickly as these ones shall. Sigma Sons will hold the line. Of course, they are unbreakable. And the Deathjacks over on this flank, catching the Skaven unawares. And oh my god, the plague monks are taking huge damage wherever the archer pressure does come down. But apart from that, spearmen being ripped apart. Looks like Plague has gone down on a unit of archers, which isn't going to be the best value. They're simply going to walk away from it, but at least it will distract them for a very little while. Knights of Blazing Sun trying to collapse on this left-hand side with a unit of swordsmen. In drops the hero core, as well as Balthasar Gelt being used in a combat form here. Looks like we are going to be seeing... Oh, is that Plague of Rust, or is it... No, Blessed by Filth is indeed going down. And that looks about it. And Roll of Corruption as well. Balthasar Gelt getting absolutely nuked at this moment. Archers continue to pour in the fire, doing good work on the pit fighters, but the Plague Monks will force their way through. It's a nice kind of damage, a threat overload, I suppose, by both these players. Balance power is heavily, heavily in favour of the Empire, however, as the double Empire captains do wail a little bit on Skrog, but they need to get back up in the skies. These chieftains are no joke. Now, Final Transmutation does come down an upgraded one. Balthasar Gelt kind of dragging these characters together in a ball before dropping that glorious spell. Backline, though, is now being harassed. This unit of archers being put to the sword by some rat ogres, and the plague monks hopping on this other unit. He needs to try and gain strength over on this hand flank, where he can then protect his archers a little bit better. Looks like Deathjacks shall rally after taking a bit of a beating, as one of the captains does try to aid the Sigma Sons and slaughter the rat ogres, who are wavering as that thunderous charge does come in. The heroic champion of the people coming in to save his sons. Elsewhere, though, it looks like the archers are in complete disarray, having to fall back, but will the Skaven have enough to chase off these troops? I'm not so sure now. They've taken a huge beating with a real glass cannon approach. Archers need to continue to pull back, though, as the spearmen can flood in. We have a nice rally on this left-hand side, but they're facing the wrong way. These archers need to be turning and engaging. It looks like New Life's Micro is elsewhere, as another plague is going to be going down on these archers. They've only just decided... Oh, they haven't even decided to turn around. They're just getting absolutely destroyed there, unfortunately. Knights of the Blazing Sun do come in and do some pretty decent damage to the Rat Ogres. They need to fall back, though, as they are going to be going down here. They need to just chase these guys off the field with their little bit of health they have left. The swordsmen not doing too bad. Archers are doing some nice crossfire into those guys, trying to force them off. But it looks like a lot of the Empire troops are kind of just really static at the moment. A lot of them are going to be coming back to the fray. Here's a lot of troops to micro at this point. Now, over down here in the trees, Balthasar Gelt is going to help finish off these Plague Monks with the help of some Spearmen and some rather adventurous archers, we should say. Some other bold ones who have decided to yeet into combat, swords drawn, blood songs on their lips. Balthasar Gelt should be able to get back up into the skies. We haven't seen him use too many spells, apart from the Overcast Final Transmutation, which of course is a bucket ton of Winds of Magic, but he could be saving up for a second one to drop down on these double chieftain, who are currently being harassed by the archers. This has been a super crazy game so far. Stirland's Revenge are trotting it back to action as well, and the archers have a lovely surround. The Skaven kind of leadership core has formed a little death blob, but that is both its strength and weakness. We're seeing a lovely roll of corruption come down, catching the spearmen, but in return a final transmutation is catching all of the characters. The double captains could probably try to assassinate one of the chieftains, as now that their leadership is getting so low. And it looks like Noob for Life and the mighty Balthasar Gelt is going to be taking this victory in our first game. Awesome stuff. That was just two armies going absolutely fisticuffs, beating the crap out of each other. Noob for Life did succeed. Balthasar Gelt proven once and for all, he is no meme. He is a god of destruction and gold. 1.6k damage value, pretty impressive. Also 4.8 damage dealt. The Empire Captains kind of went for the Leroy Jenkins style of play, but in doing so did drag those characters together, allowing Balthasar Gelt to drop those big final transmutations. Now, the Spearmen got butchered pretty much to the last man, as to be expected. Swordsmen, Flagellants do quite a bit considerably better, and the Archers as well made some really nice value across the board, particularly the Deathjacks, a unit I'm actually quite a big fan of, despite their meme potential. I think having that little sneaky unit people don't expect can work rather well. Stirland's Revenge had a fantastic game, getting nearly 1,000 value. Knights both doing pretty good. Now, for Deadly Bunnies, of course, the Mighty Chieftains coming in with 700 damage value here, 1k on the other one, and Lord Skrog 1.4 did well. Unfortunately for them, though, the Plague Monks really suffered badly. These two units got a lot of kills, but their damage value is just so low because they could only hunt down Spearmen and Swordsmen before they did get whittled down by the Archer Corps. Same problem coming in for the Rat Ogres. So GG is crazy stuff. Bunnies is Skrog and Noob is Gelt. Yes. Oh, that was what I said. No worries. GG. So up next, I should really write down the list so I actually remember what it is rather than having to hop into Discord every time. But let's go back and have a look. It is Mr. Raptor. Get your butt in here, buddy. I know you are a friend on my Steam account. So let's see if he's here. And there we go. Let's switch up the map and I'll come back and chat with you guys a little bit while these guys hop into the lobby. So let's go. What glorious map do we want today? Let's go River Maxon. You never go too wrong with River Maxon, in my opinion. What's up, Logic? How's it going, man? Hope you're all good today. Logic is, I believe you're hosting a tournament tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Feel free to drop a link in the chat there to try and get as many people involved as possible. I may be playing, I may not. I may be doing a stream of my Warhammer World Championship games. I'm not too sure just yet. Yeah, the Archers were a perfect counter, man. It was a super cool rush build, but I think Plague Monks are bad luck. I agree, Slough. I agree. What's up, Poland? How's it going, man? Hope you're all good today. Now I'm the, the leader. Hey, hey. So, let's sort out the scoreboard quickly. So, Mr. Noob for Life is currently on the run up to a whole victory in this King of the Hill. Will he be able to hold on to that? We'll have to find out in just a second. Challenging him is the meme master himself, Mr. Raptor. And let's go to the beautiful looking Randall's gift. It's such a cool design that they've managed to do on this. And let's go. So up first we will be doing Raptor, as he is on the left hand side. Which faction are you guys hoping for? Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Give him a bad one. We have Karl Franz. Okay, Mr. Franz coming in for Raptor there. So Empire is certainly getting some love. And up after him Noob will be taking charge of... Dun, dun, dun. Not Empire, not Empire, not Empire. Oh, thank God, I thought I was going to stop there. Oh. We have Sigvald the Magnificent. Siggy is pretty damn good. If you've seen my recent video, you'll see just quite how powerful he is. He's certainly some scary stuff, so let's get rid of that. So, Rap is Franz, and Noob is Siggy. The king will fall! I hope. Bold words coming in from Raptor there. By right of ritual meme combat, Noob for Life is now PE's leader. Oh, so do they exchange leader depending on who wins? That's actually kind of a cool way of doing a clan. It's like a, yeah, only the strongest will survive. They're kind of like Mandalorians. Oh yeah, this is going to be a wild matchup for sure. Good versus evil. A2 asks, Duck, what is your favourite faction in lore and gameplay? My favourite faction, both in lore and gameplay, although I wish their lore was a little bit more enriched with the rest of the main factions, is Lizardmen. Lizardmen are definitely my favourite faction to play. The one I'm certainly best with. I'm kind of head and shoulders better with Lizardmen than I am any other faction. I really need to kind of focus actually on other factions and get a little bit better with them. But yeah, I love the dinos. It's just so cool. The Chad fight is above us. Oh yeah. Sigvald does it alone. Oh, mate, honestly, Siggy in that game against Aero was disgusting. I actually have a really cool replay from Aero as well, showing a big brain play by him. That's going to be up on the channel soon. No sub-factions, sadly not. Sadly, no sub-factions today. Oh, not least in this one. Who are you guys rooting on for? The mighty Karl Franz or Siggy the Magnificent? Which Lord? Krokagar is probably my favourite Lord. Now, gameplay-wise, I think Mazdamundi is the best Lizardman Lord by quite a considerable margin. But you gotta love Krokagar. His lore-wise is pretty insane. There's a few kind of cool Lords as well from other factions I really like in lore. But overall, Lizardmen are my favourite. But you've got people like Aleph and Nar I'm a big fan of. The Shadow King is a fantastically written book, I believe by Gav Thorpe. I don't have my bookshelf properly set up since I've moved back yet, so I don't think it's on there. But I'll have to double check for you guys in the future. But I believe it's Gav Thorpe who did the Shadow King, which I really highly recommend. I believe you can actually hear Chapter 1 on this channel, voiced by me. Let's see who stands the strongest. Oh man, yeah. Oh no, if we see Foot Franz, that's going to be hilarious. Yeah, Raptor loves a good meme. He loves a big meme. Am I right in thinking the Held Cannon is good in this matchup? It certainly can be. You really need some kind of shot blocker for it to hide behind, because Empire can go quite gun heavy here. I don't think Raptor necessarily will. We're definitely going to see halberds. He has some kind of weird fetish for halberds. So he loves like the depth guard of halberds and so forth. So I'm certainly expecting to see a front line of halberds from him. Or at least 1 or 2 units. But yeah, you really need like a hill, and I think you can probably do on this map, River Amaxon, hide it behind the trees. It loops its shots up and over, where it can be protected from long-range cannon fire, or perhaps even by some of the ridges on this right-hand side. You can see these little blobs. You can hide a hell cannon behind there and kind of defend it rather nicely. Oh, yeah. Sonic the Hedgehog says, yeah, you basically described the video which happened the other day with Sigvald literally just somehow, like, killing everything. He's a madman for sure. I had big problems for him for quite some time with the Lizardmen, but I did kind of eventually solve that. Horn of Kygor mixing with a big dinosaur basically squishes him. And at the same time, Grombrendel sent me some replays on how to deal with Sigvald with the Dowie, because he beats every single Dowie Lord in hand-to-hand combat. It's absolutely mental. So he's been a big problem for a while for them. Yeah, literally Blackthorn sums it up perfectly. Literally sums it up absolutely perfectly there. On how you deal with it. Yeah, guys, it's good to be back doing some King of the Hills. We haven't done one in absolutely ages, mainly be focusing on DBD. And of course, DBD will be returning next week. I'm going to set that up after this stream, most likely Wednesday. That'll be the 3rd qualifier trying to book their place into the finals, which I'm very excited for. And tomorrow we will most likely be having a little special series I'm going to do, which is kind of the I suppose, the duck story of the Warhammer World Championship. So I'm going to be showcasing all of my games. Tomorrow we'll be doing the first half of my group games, then the next week the second half, and then going on into the second group stage and the knockout stage, just depending on how far I get. I have arguably my favourite ever games from a tournament up against Quack, because you played one twice, so we had 2 super close games. It was such good fun, and I'm really looking forward to showing those for you guys. Ready when you are. Sigma will be your doom. Faith, Steel, and Halberds. Oh my god, Raptor. Halberd, Beast. Looks like Noob for Life is ready as well. You don't need none of that gunpowder when you have a good old solid Halberd at your back. I like the Head Taker book, personally. That sounds good. Is that a Skaven book by any chance? Another good book as well. I want to call it Oathbreaker. I think that's what it's called. It's a Dowie book. Following one of the lesser-known kind of holds, I suppose. So it's not really about like a main legendary lord or anything. That is also a really good book, I seem to remember. And a lot of these, it's so annoying because I don't know my books out. They're still all in boxes. There was a really good series they did. So 40k did a huge series or selection of books set around the Horus Heresy. I believe they're just called the Horus Heresy books, and they kind of started to do a similar thing with Warhammer Fantasy, where they did the Sundering books or Empire basically come into fruition and so on. I don't think I ever went quite as far, but there was a really good Empire one about Karl Franz and his initiations into the army and how he started, which I seem to have been really good. But I did read that when I was younger, so maybe my mind is clouded by youthful ignorance. Who knows? Who knows? Here we are, River Amaxon, one of my favourite maps. It's pretty well balanced. Unfortunately, the river has seen better days. It's kind of just a dried up little heap at the moment. Although there is a water... Is that a waterfall in this sense? I feel like that's a waterfall, which doesn't make much sense in that there's no water in the river. But who knows? It is Lustria. It is a realm of magic and confusion and gigantic Aztec pyramids, which also happen to be spaceships. It's absolutely insane. But as for the actual map itself, a lovely big flat open plain where people can fight toe-to-toe. There's also some trees on the right-hand side where you can be a little bit sneaky and try to stab your enemy through. And on the left-hand side, there's this nice little high ground, so you can loop your troops up and around and slam down on the enemy, or take it and use it as kind of a choke point situation. But who's your money on? I'm excited to see Raptor's Halberds get in the action. I'm a big fantasy fan, but I haven't read the Warhammer books yet. I've also heard that the Gotrek and Felix books are a really good starting point, and I think they redid them recently, as in gave them new covers and re-released them maybe a couple of months ago, so perhaps you'll be able to find them because they were a little bit difficult for a while. Halberd fencing is quite fun. It can really recommend, though protection is hard to use. That sounds really good fun. I haven't actually done... I did some fencing when I was a kid at some point, I think, on some kind of camp or something. But I haven't done much, sword fight or anything like that. So for the forces of Raptor coming in to try and steal the crown off Noob for Life's head, we do have the Hammer of the Witches, regiment around a great cannon, which can do some really glorious work from long range. And of course it is Foot Franz. I don't know why we expected anything different from Raptor. He's going to be rolling dirty with a Death Caster. Looks like he's going to be darting over here. We have Spirit Leech, and I believe that's Doom and Darkness. Let's see. Yep, Doom and Darkness. Karl Franz on foot with Runefang and Garmraz, so he shall be dual wielding. For his main front line, we've got a couple into Spearmen and then a bucket ton of Halberds, as you would expect from the mighty Raptor himself. Can be form a little box around the cannon, where he can then use the mobility of his cav to his advantage. We have triple... 2 pistoliers and 1 outriders with grenade launchers. We have the Black Lions! Oh yes, the Regiment of Renowned War Wagon Hellblaster Volley Gun can actually do disgusting damage. It's just very tricky to use all round. We also have double Knights of the Blazing Sun. Really fun build. Now for the forces of evil and chaos, Mr. Noob for Life, the crown has clearly corrupted him. We have Forsaken in the front line, mixed in with Chaos Warriors with Halberds, and then a load of cheap and cheerful Chaos Marauders who are certainly down for a scrap. I like his more elite troops being placed on this left-hand side, both making a flank overload, but also able to push through the trees. We do have an Exalted Hero on foot. Is that 2 Exalted Heroes on foot or just the 1? Surely it's just the 1 and a caster. Yeah, it's a Caster of Death with a humble Spirit Leech, also a pretty decent melee combatant in his own right, and Prince Civil the Magnificent coming with all his glorious buffs, armor as well, which gives him regeneration. We do have Chaos Knights hidden in the trees, as well as a Chaos Ferromanticore up in the skies. We have some Warhounds, which he's probably going to be deploying on the wing. Looks like 2 Manticores, in fact. And we have some Chaos Chariots. So pretty good stuff. I love the fact all their steeds have these flaming demonic eyes, nostrils, and hooves. Makes them look pretty scary. I wouldn't be the Marauder of the Whip in that situation, because those look like they can just turn around and bite your head off. Also, a couple of horsemen to put a nice little bit of pressure on the skirmish game. Certainly expecting a lot of early skirmishing, but quite quick because it's all on horseback before the Chaos do decide to bomb rush the forces of the Empire where possible. Hellblaster volley guns are going to have an absolute whale of a time up against the horsemen though. Each bullet shall slay a pony. And the Hammer of Witches doesn't have too many great targets. It can, of course, focus down at the Ferromanticores where possible. It's going to be so cool to see Sigvald up against Franz in a foot fight. I think that's definitely going to go Sigvald's way. Karl Franz with Runefang and Garmiraz certainly can burst him down. That's his only hope. But if he's allowed to stabilise path then, the healing's simply going to be too much. Too much. What's up, Ice Power? The man, the myth, the legend. And a DPD finalist as well to come. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're all good. You are on the waiting list in case we have a few people drop out. Man, Raptor is going strong, dude. Your dad's name's also Karl Franz. That's great. Does he look anything similar? You should buy him a giant hammer, maybe. Good luck, have fun from both the lads. Oh, looks like they've rigged up, so I don't have to tell them not to wait for me. And here we go. Pistoliers up against Marauder Horsemen, who shall come out on top in this Battle of the Skirmishers. There's actually 4 horsemen, though, which is pretty scary stuff. The Grey Launchers can do huge burst damage, particularly if they catch those Forsaken and other such units. Hellblaster is now opening up, and this is where it's really going to shine. Raptor can bait with the Pistoliers, drag the guys in, and oh my god, that's disgusting! 2 units nearly broken out of the gate. 1 volley from the Grey Launchers and 1 burst from the Black Lions, who are continuing to rake in shots in their back. My god! Down to half health and lost about a third health on this unit. Back up. Faith, steel, and plenty of gunpowder, it would seem, coming in from Raptor now. His other Pistoliers are suffering a bit more up against the double Marauder Horsemen on this flank, but oh, that's disgusting. These horsemen really getting pounded, and they need to be over here as well. It's a lovely trap by Raptor. If you want to come and shut these guys down, you're going to have to commit your horses, but the Black Lions shall do work. And if you don't, then the Outriders will simply destroy the front line of Marauders. These horsemen are getting nuked. Nearly 3 units breaking. Oh, this is such a good start, but it's going to be pretty crazy. The Wars of Chaos have a far better front line and will simply be able to overwhelm the Empire. That's where it's going to get a little hairy. Pistoliers are shooting up into Chaos Ferromanticores, so they have 45 armor, which will help them a little bit. Pistoliers, despite having guns, are actually pretty weak against armor. They are suffering now from the Horseman threat on this flank. But this left-hand side is just completely collapsed. And now the Black Lions do turn and engage down ranks, aiming at some Chaos Marauders. They certainly want to switch targets, though, and start focusing down some more of these scary threats. These guys proven very devastating so far. They're now going after the Exalted Hero, as well as the Chaos Sorcerer of Death, doing some huge burst damage. Of course, Chaos do not have healing. Knights of Blazing Sun are going to come in, finish off these horsemen who did manage to engage some Pistoliers. So far, some pretty expert micro from Raptor has enveloped today, I suppose, or unfolded. How it is, they're trying their best on the Chaos Chariots. One of them does explode there, so a few bit of a missile pressure from the Hammer of the Witches. Warriors of Chaos are starting to push through the front line. Knights of the Realm being forced to commit, pinning in those chariots. Raptor pin on an absolute masterclass so far. On the left-hand side, Outriders of Grenade Launchers have been caught up. They need to fall back. Yes, they're fighting with Halberds, who do a good job up against all these troops. You need to save as many Outriders as possible, because their guns are going to be really necessary in the end. Good pressure from Noob for Life, though. He is starting to overwhelm the Empire forces. Marauders and Forsaken have now shut down the Hammer of Witches, which is in big trouble. Of course, the Black Lions, a little bit more swift on their wheels, can escape quite nicely. Very close game so far. Where is the mighty Karl Franz? It looks like he is dueling in the midst of his men. Unfortunately, these Knights of Blazing Sun do have a right-click Runefang, so he wants to keep them in action. They are up against Halberds, which is pretty scary stuff. Now, where is Franz? Here he is, face-to-face with Sigvald. Sigvald comes in with an overhanded slap, but then the big Garmiraz crushes Sigvald's skull. That is an epic fight for the ages, and it looks like Karl Franz is getting it dumpstered. The Pistoliers are now being ambushed by 2 rampaging Ferromanticores. Halberds are trying to catch up. And it looks like what started was a beautiful opening performance by Raptor is now starting to fall apart. Black Lions explode some Forsaken at point-blank range. These guys have been particularly impressive so far. But if Karl Franz goes down here, I don't think the men of the Empire will be able to hold firm. He's trying to fall back, and Knights of Blazing Sun are trying to allow his escape. But unfortunately, those Halberds being so near could be a big problem. Well, they're saying that. Where have the Halberds gone? Oh, there they are. They're still there quite happily. And the Knights of Blazing Sun have now been forced off. In a sense, Halberds doing a good job, obviously, beating back Chaos Marauders, but it's not where they need to be. They need to be over here, realistically. Outriders are now being chased, and they have no friends to protect them. The poor Black Lion is now getting just slaughtered here by the Feral Manticore. Looks like Pistolers have come to support, but I think they'll be a little bit too little too late to save the day, as the Black Lions are terrified and running, but they still have 3 models. If they do return, they can still pack a pretty decent punch. Karl Franz is taking a few shots now. He's not looking like a happy bunny whatsoever. He's running, holding Garmaraz quite tight, trying to stop it falling into the Chaos Corrupted hands. Balanced power, though, very heavily against the Empire at this moment. And he dared to dream that the Black Lions could secure victory and the meme foot Franz. But alas, it wasn't enough. Horsemen, good play by them, despite the fact they got absolutely annihilated early on. Have now done some good play in hunting down the Pistolers, getting really aggressive with your skirmish cavalry, which I like to see, especially when you have better combat stats than the enemy. And Warhounds as well, wrapping up, and it looks like France will survive, but is unfortunately running away. Man, that was cool. That was so cool. Does he summon you as an elector count to the dinner table? That's amazing. That was really funny. Good game by both his players. Well played to Raptor as well as Noob for Life. Noob for Life will be holding on to the crown a little while longer. Hammer Witches unfortunately did really suffer, but the Black Lions, 1.3k damage value. Really impressive work from them. The grenade launchers, despite the fact they used barely any of their ammunition, still got over 1,000 damage value. Pistolers just about paying for themselves, or one did, one didn't. Knights of Blazing Sun, though, really struggling, as well as the Halberds, not having a great day whatsoever. Karl Franz and the Wizard struggling as well. As for Noob for Life, Sigvold is just an absolute beast. Basically took no damage, still had plenty to give, although didn't have to get his blade too wet with the blood of the Empire. The Chaos also didn't do too much, neither did the Exalted Champion, but the sheer weight of numbers, just so many Marauders, Forsaken, Halberds, left, right, and centre really did push their way through and swarm the smaller Empire force. Unfortunately, the Chariot was dealt with rather easily. Chaos Knight, so 1.4k damage, beautiful stuff, pretty much full health as well. And the Horsemen fared pretty poorly, taking a ton of damage, but being really useful in the late game in chasing off enemy troops. Manticores not doing too bad themselves. GG. So up next, let's have a little look who we do need to nab and grab in here. It is going to be the Mighty Way. So Way, if you are listening, you're up next. After that, it will be Duck Nut, Stormrunner, and Legion. Those are the guys who are kind of guaranteed a spot so far. So I've just got a message from someone I thought I was going to play some games with, but I don't think we're going to have time now. But just let them know that we're streaming so they can hop over and come chill out if they want. Cool stuff. So, who did I say was up next? Mr. Way. Cool. So, Way, if you'd like to hop in, password is 123. Let's update these scores. Mr. Noob for Life has now gone 2-0. Very impressive stuff from him so far. Bringing some fun experimental builds, but it's also getting the results. It's kind of a staple of his performances most of the time. So let's get away. Move his name along. And when he hops in the lobby, we'll open Randall's gift once more. Oh, he's here. Hey, hey. So we'll do Pillarbone. Nice, easy map to go to. And let's spin the wheel one more time. Boop. So that should be back on the screens right now. So for Way, the challenger, who shall he get? Only time shall tell. Chaos wins, dark times are coming. Indeed, Raptor. I love the build, though. I love the build, man. The Black Lions did a real good work. We have Tehenna with the Lizardman for Way. So we have Tehenny, I'm going to call him. Just going to write that down. And for Noob for Life, who shall he be defending with? So we are going to be seeing some Lizardmen, which is some good fun stuff. What's up, Ben the Barman? How's it going, man? Hope you're all good in the hood. Norsca with Frog. Oof. Oof. This is going to be a wild one. A very even matchup. Noob for Life is very good in this, though, as well, with his Norscan forces. He is memeing a little bit today, though, so perhaps there is hope for Wayne. I mean, Wayne's a very talented player as well, so don't get it twisted. Hovering Dowie for luck. Way is Lizardmen with... Oh, I have no idea how to spell Tehenna. Tehen... We'll call him Tehenny. And Noob has... Frog. Cool, looks like he got the gist. And they are going to be going sub-factions, which should be some good fun. Yeah, welcome, Ben. So if anyone who is joining late today, we're doing a nice little fun stream to celebrate hitting the 4K sub mark, and that is going to be Random Lords and Factions King of the Hill. Noob for Life currently is 2-0 up, and should be some good fun. We've had some pretty wild picks so far. Balthasar Gelt was a bit of a hero as well in that first game, but it looks like we're going to be seeing more of an old school mashup here. No, there's no generic Lords, unfortunately, Legion. I don't think they put them into the system. I think it is just legendary Lords. I was expecting France to do better versus Sigvald, popped everything and still nothing. Yeah, Sigvald's disgustingly tanky. Yeah, I think Franz really does shine on his mighty mount. What's up, Hank? Yeah, to hen. That would be an easier way of putting it, actually. I put like 10-y. I don't think I've ever seen France for. That's the kind of fun thing of this type of system, is you see builds and lords that you would never normally see up against each other. Teeny weeny. He is going to be getting teeny weeny. Love the Black Lion play, says the Black Fawn. Oh man, yeah, that was some crazy stuff. They got such good value. If he'd kept them alive, maybe if he cut the Hammer of Witches, replaced it with maybe just another like couple of units of Knights or something, which could just block the enemy and hold them back, then the Black Lions maybe would have been able to carry the day. Oh, Hank, were you the person asking about the duck name? About how I got the duck name. Sorry, yes, I haven't explained it before, so... I may have explained this like ages ago, so the reason I am called a rubber duck of war is a little bit weird, so... Ages ago, I used to go to a lot of football games with... when I'm like living back home with some of my mates, and I'm a Stoke City supporter, and for one of my birthdays, my mum got me a rubber duck. It's got like a little Stoke t-shirt on, and it kind of became a bit of a meme between me and all my friends. We had the Stoke duck, so he would travel with us to all of the football games to come watch the games, and we would bring him and like raise him up in the crowd and stuff. So he became Stoke Duck, so that became a bit of a meme in general. And then I have a PlayStation, and I had a name since I was a kid. I think it was like Yang or something weird. And you could change it for free. All of a sudden, PlayStation were like, you know what, you don't have to pay a load of money just to change your name. You can change it for free. And a friend of mine was called a Penguin of War. So I was like, and he was the friend I used to go to the football games with the rubber duck. So I was like, oh, I can change my name. We can do something which kind of matches. So I went a rubber duck of war because of the rubber duck. And then when forming the YouTube channel, I'm like, well, Total War, rubber duck of war. It kind of makes sense. So I just went with it and it became a rubber duck of war. Yeah, see, Logic knows about Stoke Duck. Logic is was there as well. Is Deathclaw like Zlak for Mazda? Not in the sense that... So for those who don't know, Mazda Mundi isn't actually the leader of the Lizardmen. A lot of people think he is. And I convinced him. Mazda Mundi, he leads the Lizardmen forces in Total War Warhammer. Some people are like, no, maybe it's Lord Croak, but secretly, Mazda Mundi is actually just a puppet. Zlak is the true ruler of the Lizardmen forces. He does all the magic, does all the fighting, all the heavy lifting, and that is why you also often see Mazda Mundi on top of Zlak, and he's simply a puppet. And, you know, Mazda Mundi on his own little toilet seat isn't quite so powerful, and that's because Zlak is having to telepathically control him from afar, you know, just outside hiding in a bush somewhere. But I don't think Deathclaw runs the Emperor. I think Karl Franz does a good enough job himself. So for the forces anyway of Wei, looks like he's trying to prove me wrong with one of my predictions on my list that Rev Crystals are absolutely garbage. He's coming with double Rev Crystal. I absolutely love to see it. So 2 healing dinos here. This guy's coming at about 1,000 gold, and of course can heal dead troops as well. So they do bring them back to life, but only when the ones who are alive are full HP, so it kind of rarely actually happens. We have Saurus Warriors with spears, as well as Saurus Warriors dotted through the front line. So a nice thick line of Saurus, and a bucket ton of Chameleon Skinks. 1, 2, 3, 4, in fact. Going to be good in this matchup, good against lightly armoured foes in general. Incredibly pesky, sticky, and annoying to deal with. We have the cohort of Sotek, and we have Tehenwin himself on his Engine of the Gods. The true way you should bring him. Just like I get over to him as well, he does a dart and escape. So no net, unfortunately. That's the problem with the Engine of the Gods, that you can't combine it with anything. But he still does come with Stand Your Ground, Arcane Conduit, Pan's Impenetrable Pelt, Wild Form, as well as Burning Alignment. Pretty cool stuff all around by there. Now, for the force of Norsca, going to have a little bit of a rush. A ton of Marauders in the front line mixed in with Marauder Champions. Champions are absolutely pivotal here because they do chew through Temple Guard quite nicely. We have Frog, who needs to be a bit careful from fire damage, but there is no Solar Engines or Umbral Tide or anything lurking in the wings. With a Shaman Sorcerer of Death with a simple Spirit Leech, looks like he's a big fan of that, coming in with the previous build as well. And a Shaman Sorcerer of Metal with Plague of Rust. We have Marauder Chariots, we have Spears in the back line, as well as a Norscan Ice Trolls, hell yeah! Double Ice Trolls, units don't get to see terribly often, and a couple of Javelins. So a mixture of nice competitive stuff, as well as some fun stuff as well, with the Ice Trolls and another Pheromone Score up in the skies. Very nice build all around, actually. It could be a little bit tough to deal with. The Henowin is going to be a little bit rough. We've got triple Javelins to bring him down. We've got Frog, who's got that lovely anti-large and bonus first large, all that good stuff, as well as the Norscan Ice Trolls to pin him in. These Chameleon Skinks are going to have to get very busy, as are the Rev Crystals. People look so confused. Deandra. It's true, man. Like, no, it's my theory at least. It's a theory, I suppose, a conspiracy theory, more than proven in lore that Zlak knows what's up. TTT is the god of the sky. Prove me wrong. I mean, I think TTT probably loses to a fair amount, of course. So it'd be quite easy to. Yeah, Lizardmen is weird that it's not too out there. Yeah, like, they get dreamed back to life or something bizarre, don't they? It's, yeah. Slans are like so OP, but at the same time they have to keep them away from the story so much because of how OP they are. Always like, oh, you've got a problem and enemies attacking Altdorf. Whatever shall we do? And Mazmeni just rocks up, clicks his fingers, and they all get Thanos snapped into some different dimension. It's just a little bit broken. Chameleon Skinks are going to be peppering down the enemy. Focusing down the Pheromantical is good. They don't have particularly amazing armor, whereas shooting Marauders and stuff isn't really going to get you good value, as well as the Trolls who simply can regenerate up. So Henowin is going to be going straight balls to the walls here, pushing into the enemy back line, and the Javelins are going to fall back. Good micro by Noob for Life here, knows that they don't want to get tussled there. So Henowin actually goes for a 360 no-scope dodge on Frog, pushing forward, and he's now completely surrounded. Standground has been popped, Pan's impenetrable pelt, but watch his health decrease. It's not going to be a good day for him whatsoever, although he can be healed up at this moment. We do have the Burning Alignment going down on top of the Champions. Looks like they're going to try to dodge. Did some insane damage. What am I talking about? I was like, I didn't do anything, and I saw the health bar. That was awesome. Wintertooth Crown has gone down up to 11 kills already from that 500 damage value. Javelins are now combing in. Cohort of Sotek trying to push through the gaps to shut these guys down, but they've been caught. They need to be spam clicking here. Push their way through to the Javelins. Over elsewhere, Saurus Spears are being deleted by Chameleon Skinks. And it's looking pretty bad for the Lizardmen, simply because they can't get into this Javelin back line. And if you leave these Javelins alone, they're going to absolutely destroy you. We do have Plague of Rust go down onto Henowin, but he is getting healed up by one of those Rev Crystals, now launching his way into the Hunter's back line. Pheroman's Core, though, is going to be attacking him as well. There's so many buffs currently popped. We have Wild Form, Spirit Leech, Plague of Rust, as well as the Rev Crystal Hill. That second Rev Crystal does need to go off now. Frog is getting beaten down. A mixture of the double Basiladons, as well as just sheer pressure. 1, 2, 3 units of Chameleon Skinks consistently firing in, and Frog is down for the count, and all of a sudden, the Norscan forces are in complete disarray. Plague Rust is still on to Henowin, but the Javelins have been forced back for the moment, and it looks like the Saurus are going to push through and start harassing those guys. They can fall backward to Henowin, drag him into the back lines, and then pop a couple more hills with the Rev Crystal. He would certainly be in a nice position. Kota Sotek, Saurus Warriors all streaming into the back line. Spearman desperately trying to hold the line, but in comes Gary the Larry, popping in and just, look at him, just poking through that front line. Imagine how scared you'd be if you were the Spearman. I'd be running for the hills. Norscan Ice Trolls have managed to rally to the cause. They do a good job on the Saurus Warriors. New for Life, an incredibly talented Scrapper as well. Certainly not too far gone yet, despite the loss of his Lord. Javelins trying to focus down to Henowin where possible. Another overcast Plague of Rust coming in, but a well-timed Pan's impenetrable pelt going to be trying to protect him. Spirit Leech is coming in as well. Marauder Hunter Javelins really struggling to get the fire on him whilst that Plague of Rust is active. And that's key. You need to hit him when the rust is there. Unfortunately, his units are being chased away. And yeah, he's rescuing them, but a little bit too little too late. The Shaman Sorcerer of Death is nearly gone at this point. Another Rev Crystal shot has gone up onto Henowin, proving once and for all that Henowin is the king of the jungle, flooring the poor Shaman Sorcerer of Death, who is now terrified and running for their life. There's a lot of Chameleon Skinks alive as well, who there's nothing really left in the Norscan build to deal with them. No hounds or anything to hunt them down. In the distance, champions are doing a great job. Yeah, you're going to be able to chew through the Sword of Spears, but you're far too far away from the action. Shaman Sorcerer of Death is now taking a few bolts to the face. Greenskins still have okay melee stats as well, but it does come down to the scrap, and Sorcerer Warriors can plug in here. Norscan Ice Trolls are being forced off once more, but they may rally to the cause. Chariot not doing too good a job. Another burning alignment does come down the line, trying to capture these hunters. New for Life does spot it and manage to dart out the way, but a few of them get roasted. Explosions of blood in some fiery fury did go down, and that's going to perhaps break these guys. No, they are rallying to the cause, but there's no help coming, and that's a big problem for them. Saurus Warriors will engage. Yeah, the Ice Trolls are close enough to intercept, but they're kind of needed in this main fight. There's a ton of Greenskins who can pour firepower into them. Tehenowin is darting in, and he's a terrifying force to be reckoned with. He does need to get some more of those Rev Hills going. Unfortunately, they have a very long cooldown, and that's why I don't think they're particularly good. But having two of them does allow it, mean, yeah, he can kind of pop one. When that one's done, the other one can then be popped as well. Looks like we are going to see an extended Spirit Leech popped on him. Now that's his extended range, not extended damage from wherever that sorcerer may be. There's one down here. Who knows where they were? Maybe they exploded their own mind, unfortunately, by overcasting. And a ton of bolts are coming in, poisoning and slowing down the trolls who have been forced off. He needs to chase these guys down, though, because they keep coming back and fighting that little while longer. Tehenowin, once again, Plague of Rust kind of mistimed. It's come down, but there's simply nothing to face him whilst Plague of Rust is online. If he got a little bit unlucky earlier with his javelins, perhaps, but he has overextended to Tehenowin. The Ice Trolls are charging. Looks like Pans and Petrol Pelt, as well as the Plague of Rust, are both still active, and the poor Ice Trolls are going to be terrified. And this is a big problem with Trolls. They do get terrified easily and scared off. And with that, the balanced power is very close to armor losses at this stage. A ton of the Norscan forces have been escorted to the edge of the battlefield at this point. Spearmen were allowed as well to catch up with some of the hunters. In the distance, we have another unit of spears chasing off 2 units of huntsmen, or 1 huntsman, 1 spearman. Very good usage there to stop the Norscan being able to rally their forces and come back. Death Lasers, screams Stormrunner. Yeah, we have some Death Lasers. Tehenowin done pretty good, up to 66 kills. Now, Tehenowin's main problem in the Lizardmen roster is that he's just in a roster with really good lords, such as Lord Manstamundi and so forth, so you don't get to see him terribly often. But he's really good. He is really very powerful. It looks like Wei is showing the might here of Tehenowin, who is now trying to hunt down some champions who are fleeing for their life currently. The chameleons may want to shoot them in the back while their shields are facing the wrong direction, which will also slow them down. I don't really know why they're running, to be honest. I think their doom is a little bit inevitable. Cohort of Sotek are actually trying to force back some trolls who aren't having a good day. Hunters have shattered at this point. Draw kite for the win, screams Noob for the life. Trying to draw where possible, but I don't think it's going to favour him too much. It looks like he is actually gonna drop there as well. Awesome stuff. That was pretty wild. Rowduck teaching me more lore, reading up in here. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. So anyway, well played to both these champs. Noob for Life's crown has unfortunately fallen. The Wintertooth crown will be taken by Wei and the mighty Tehenowin, who did a good job. 1.6k damage value. Probably not paying for himself, unfortunately, because he is disgustingly expensive with on his mount and all his buffs. But still, the Rev Crystals coming in, getting only 340 damage value, but their heals allowed Tehenowin to be the ultimate distraction. Carl effects, just absorbing all that damage, while the chameleons themselves get some lovely damage across the board. 1k, 1k, 1.5k, all that good stuff. And the Saurus as well, which is the sort of real meat and bones of any good Lizardmen build, force their way through. The biggest problem for Noob for Life, he certainly had to build to deal with this. One, losing Frog early was a bit of a disaster. If he'd protected him a bit better, I think he would have been in a very good position. But apart from that, I mean, the champions are all good. The main problem was every time he got a good Overcast Plague of Rust down, the Hunters weren't able to take full control and really threaten Tehenowin because they were currently being forced off at the times, which was a bit unlucky, to be honest, as well, that the timings didn't match up too well. 49% ward save OP. I mean, yeah, he does come in with the glorious ward save as well. You are now the new leader of PE. That's how it works. GG. GG. That was certainly some good stuff. 100% Tehenowin. Awesome. Absolutely love to see it. So we'll be switching maps. Now let's go Mirror Woods. We haven't had Mirror Woods on the channel for quite some time. Ice Power says, Rubber Duck War, do these King of the Hills more often since every other content creator seems to be abandoning King of the Hills these days? Yeah, this really weird thing happened, like way back when I was a super small channel. I'm talking like before 100 subscribers or anything, because I'm still super small now, but in comparison, right? No one was doing King of the Hills for some reason, and I started doing King of the Hills, and all of a sudden everyone started doing King of the Hills. It was really funny. I think it was an accident, but then someone like turned to King of the Hill, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, you know what, King of the Hills, we haven't done them for a while. So maybe if we do a few King of the Hills, that may bring them back a little bit. They're making good fun as well. They've been good fun. So I'm just looking through Honey Nut. Oh, what's up, Honey Nut? You are in? Anole, looks like you're here, representing ITO as well. Yo, yo. Cool. So let's update the scoreboard quickly. So the Mighty Noob Fly did get 2 wins. Let's actually write that down. So what we're going to do from... Actually, no, we'll keep the scoreboard system the same. We'll just remember that Noob for Life is currently the king. So let's get his score down. Wei is now on a mighty 1 victory. And we'll change this to Honey Nut. Cool. So up first will be the defender here, which is of course going to be the mighty Wei, as he is on the left side. So let's pop up our lovely little random faction and lord generator and go for it. Who are you guys hoping for? Dun 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 dun. GG's double rev OP confirms this logic. I agree fully. So we are only seeing Manfred von Karstein. Manfred for the mighty Wei. So we're seeing some Vampire Council love here today. And who is he going to be up against? No worries. Dude, peace out, man. Good night. Hopefully, you can catch the rest of the stream, by the way. Tomorrow it will be uploaded. But enjoy your night's sleep, man. We're going to re-roll that because we've just had Frog. So if there's any Lord that we've like just had, if it was Wolfric, we'd probably play it, but we don't want to see Frog, you know, over and over again. So we'll mix them up, and it's going to be... Oh, we've seen Lord Stroke as well. Let's go again. So I'm not going to try to repeat too many Lords, unfortunately, unless... you know, it gets really at the end of the stream. We can have a Lord from the start of the stream. It was the same faction, but different Lord. That's fine. Oh my god! To Henna win. Right, let's go again. All Lords we've seen so far. That's insane. That is insane. The same faction's fine, but come on, let's change the Lords. There we go. Okay, that's going to be passed. Don't you dare. Oh my god. Okay, Archaon, that's fine. We haven't seen Archaon so far. Oh my god, I thought we were about to get the only other Lord we've shown today in Sigvald. I mean, we had Franz left, I suppose. But, Jesus. So, Wei is Manfred. Honey Nut is... Archaon. Honey Nut wants Tretch. He's demanding Tretch. Unfortunately, no Tretch for him. Wei wants Ungrim. Man, I love Ungrim. He's so cool. And he's actually, like, relatively okay now. Norscan builds without skin wolves feel weird. Oh, for sure, man. You see them so often. If only I knew how to play Vampire Count. That is a big problem as well with this King of the Hill system. Maybe you'll get a faction that you're not able to use very well. I would have loved to see Wei's artistic Dowie performance. Yeah, Zinch is broken, man. That was funny. Welcome to Age of Sigma lore. It's confusing. Yeah, man, I haven't really delved into the Age of Sigma stuff, to be honest, too much. It's like, it's really weird. I know, like, a decent amount about Warhammer Fantasy lore. I'd like to know more. But a lot of it is knowledge kind of coming from when I was much younger, so a lot of it may be kind of, you know, a little bit faded or misguided now. Almost Tretch. It was almost Tretch. Mirror Woods is a fun map. It's not 100% fully balanced. I don't really use it in tournaments anymore, but it's relatively enough. It's good enough. It is good enough. But I hope you guys are enjoying. If you are, feel free to hop down there and give the video a big old thumbs up. It really helps push this out to more people so we can slowly convert them into the Great Duck Revolution, where we shall overrun the manlins and not slaughter them all. We'll probably enslave them, which is absolutely fine. Force them to give us bread, even though it's slightly bad for us. Can be slightly bad for us. And yeah, feel free to subscribe if you are new to the channel as well. We do Total War Warhammer content every single day. And today you're probably actually going to be getting 3 videos because we dropped a tier list. I've got the Crimson Killers video ready to go, which was a challenge video. So we're doing challenges once a week now, which is really cool. where I'll set a really weird challenge. So last week it was, last Thursday, sorry, I was like, Crimson Killers, as much damage value as physically possible from that unit, and whoever gets the most will have that game cast, and it brings up some really interesting tactics and makes people use units and matchups they wouldn't normally do. And the next week is going to be, well, the video's going to go up after this, so I might as well tell you in advance. A little bit of a spoiler alert for you guys, give you a head start for watching the stream. Next week is going to be the most damage of value on the Amaxon Barbs, which is the regiment of renowned Razordons. It's not always going to be damage value, we're going to switch up to kills and other kind of crazy stuff, but I thought that'd be quite a good fun one to start with. And if you want to get involved, simply join in Discord, there's a link down below. I'm sure if you ask nicely, one of the mods, if we have any still kind of vibe and chat. I know Raptor was here earlier and Stormrunner, they'll drop you a link to the Discord as well. But you can find a link down below in the description, as well as links to Patreon and other ways you can support the channel, all that good stuff. But yes, zombies and more zombies, says Sloth. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a Vampire Counts build without zombies, at least a solid one, so hopefully we will be seeing at least some of them. Looks like Way is ready. Ready to try to crack this honey nut. It shall, of course, probably be a close game. I think we've had some replays of Honey Nuts on the channel before, so he's certainly no joke and knows what he's doing. But again, he might not be a Chaos player. Way is obviously saying he doesn't play Vampire Counts, and I'd be in a similar situation. You chuck me in here with Counts, I am struggling. Especially with Manfred. I know a little bit about Vlad and using Vlad in combat, but apart from him, it is a bit of a struggle. Thank you, Stormrunner, hero of the people, MVP! Please, everyone quack very loudly at Stormrunner for being such a boss. As he did drop a link to the Discord here. Why not just pick a common lord of the faction if a legendary lord is already shown up? Oh, that's a good idea. That is a good idea, actually, Hank. We might move that into the next one. Ask and I shall send. Stormrunner giveth and Stormrunner taketh away. And Stormrunner will be up, actually, in the King of the Hill. I can't remember the order off the top of my head. I have to keep going back and checking. He may be up next. I'm trying to think how many games we've done. 1, 2, 3. This is game 4. 5, 6. There should be 3 more competitors after this, I think. Which I know the last one's Legion, and Stormrunner's hidden in there somewhere. And we have another player. Who's older in Lord Mazdamundi or Croak? It is Croak. Stormrunner is being gifted 5 lizard trinkets. Quack, quack, yes, yell quack at Storm. Bless him with the mighty quacks. Yeah, Lord Croak is a Generation 1 slan, and Lord Mazdamundi is Generation 2. I believe Lord Croak is the... I think that's right. Oh god, is Mazdamundi Generation 1? No, I think he's 2. I think. Oh god. But yeah, Lord Croak's definitely older out of the 2 regardless, and I think Croak is the only first gen slan left. Maybe Mazdamundi is, but he'd be a younger one if he was. We have a ton of zombies. Anyway, let's get back to battle, but I'm sure someone can fact check that, and we'll look at it after between these battles as well. So we have a ton of zombies, so your prayers have been answered here. A ton of rotten flesh in the front line. Cheap, incredibly uncheerful. I mean, they're animated corpses, so they probably don't have too many emotions. I hope they don't know of their existence, if that makes sense. I hope they're just kind of, husks. With a Mortis engine, of course, the Dire Pack is going to be leading a force of dire wolves to battle. Up in the skies, we have Manfred von Karsine, of course, as expected. On top of his gigantic dragon, coming in with the Master of the Black Arts, Wind of Death, hell yes. Raised Dead, Invocation of the Heck, as well as the Pestilence Breath as well from Manfred himself. He's going to be escorted up in the skies by another Terror Geist. And his main battle line will be Graveguard with great weapons, mixing with the Sternsman. Real solid build, just a slow pushing force from Way. I don't think you can go too far wrong with this as well, if you're a little bit new. And oh my god, oh no, the Death Blob has arisen. What is going on with this build? It is glorious. So, we have Foot Archaon. Honeynut coming in with Foot Archaon. What a wild player. Coming in with Fireball, Burning Head, Stand or Die, which is going to work really well. This is so silly. Look at this. We have double Chaos Giant. Leading the line is some Chaos Warriors with Halberds. We have 2 units of them, mixed in with Aspiring Champions. I mean, Aspiring Champions really look cool. They're really about that Skulls for the Skull Throne lifestyle. We have the Mirror God in the back. More Aspiring Champions. More Aspiring Champions. Oh my god. So basically, this entire build is really funny, but if it gets, caught up and Honeynut's not careful, Wind of Death is going to kill 95% of this build in one shot. I'm praying that Wind of Death just goes all the way down the line. This is going to be funny. Those double breath attacks as well. I mean, he's kind of playing it. This is actually how you'd play it as Greenskins, to be honest. But yeah, breath attacks are going to be disgusting here. Wind of Death as well. I see you, Wind of Death! Oh, Honey Nut knows. He knows. Yeah, so Croak is the first gen. And he says he's second. Perfect, perfect. I mean, Zlak is honestly... So before the old ones, there was Zlak. He was born into the world, and he shaped the world from some dead husks of like a big giant, basically. And Zlak then created the old ones created the slum. That's how I remember it, at least. People tell me the Zlak part's made up, and I'm lying about that, but you'll have to, you know, you have to take that with the conspiracy theorists. Anyway, Tergeist and Manfred just floating, swarming, looking to pressure. Hound's going to be wrapping around the outside as the first zombies do engage in glorious hand-to-hand combat and get absolutely slapped back down the hill. Now, Graveguard are falling back a little bit, waiting for the opportune moment to engage, waiting for all those zombies to come in. We're going to be seeing some big breath attacks as well. Looks like they're actually going after Archaon, which is an interesting choice. Do some pretty nice damage out of the gate, whereas the big breath attack is going to be going all the way down, arcing down the line onto those halberds. Really nice shot there by Manfred. You can see how Wade lined him up. You notice how you've got an experienced player to arc, like, rake down the rank of a unit. It's far better than kind of standing over top of them. But if you want to assassinate a character, then you pop on top of them because they'll kill one model really well. Sternsman and are starting to get engaged, so are the Graveguard. There's not going to be much cycle charge or anything fancy from the Warriors of Chaos here, but the Giants are slowly starting to push in to try and protect Archaon where possible. Looks like we are going to see a Burning Head go down the line on the Zombies and the Sternsman. A really good pick. Sternsman have regeneration and therefore a weakness to fire, and it's going to catch the second unit of Graveguard on the approach. Beautiful cast, but in comes the Wind of Death, and oh my god! Oh, no, 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 no. Two dozen halberds completely gone. I mean, this one's broken but pretty much shattered. The other one was shattered. And Aspiring Champions as well, pretty much dealt. And it looks like Manfred is now going to come in with the Terrorgeist to finish off Archaon. Now that his bodyguard just got absolutely slaughtered. Manfred up to 99 kills there. Oh, that was disgusting stuff. Graveguard have pushed around the flank. It looks like Morse needs to get involved in the battle a little bit more. You need him over in this big blob fight. And down here, the Dire Pack have led their undeadly brethren, or Wolven brethren, into engagements to surround the halberds and help drag them down and try to put some pressure on the Chaos Giant. But Aspiring Champions have related to the cause. The Giant's doing a pretty decent job here. And Archaon doesn't have Slayer of Kings, I don't think, which is unfortunate for him. So it always takes a big breath attack to the face as well. And with Slayer of the Kings, he can certainly outdraw Manfred when Manfred lands. You've got to be pretty careful with him. Looks like a big breath attack is going to be coming down on top of him, but he manages to juke, dive out of the way in time, sacrificing some of his Aspiring Champions in the process instead. But I think Archaon's probably going to be going down here. Really beautiful play by Wade, just cycle charging down Archaon. And this is how you beat these kind of builds. Is you get your big breath attacks on them, you get your Winds of Death and your Burning Heads and stuff, and then you cycle charge key units with your big scary dragons. Archaon is suffering quite badly. Morse Engine is very powerful here as well. But both Giants are still standing, and a lot of the forces of Wade are starting to crumble. All the Direwolves are pretty much done for. Sternsman, again, very low and beat up. There are one real kind of bastion of hope here, which is the Graveguard 88 left in there. And of course, Morse Engine as well is very powerful at the moment. Manfred does dart down on Archaon, that falls back, allows the Terrorgeist to tag team in, starts slapping around that Archaon booty, and yeah, he's not having a good time. 184 health and still somehow standing, but now he is broken, and the Chaos do not have the mobility to keep him alive. The Dire Pack have fallen back, as well as all these other Direwolves. They'll be able to feast on his soul as he does flee, and it looks like he's actually shattered at this point. Now, Giants, despite their appearance, and you know, you'd think they're maybe a bit more like mercenaries, actually have pretty decent leadership, so they kind of hold the line quite nicely. Unfortunately, Aspiring Champions are being terrified, as are the Mirror Guard. Morse Engine's so healthy, Balance Power does fall away, and it looks like the Mighty Way shall be equaling Noob for Life's record, getting the 2-0 crown. That was crazy. That was pretty wild. Rip Chaos Army. That Wind of Death. Jesus Christ. Manfred, 101 kills, 18k damage dealt, 2,900 damage value, an absolute MVP in this build. Of course, zombies are just here to die. Graveguard did pretty decent across the board. Really nice Burning Head, or Fireball, sorry, coming from a Honey Nut. They really shut down the Sternsman. Morse Engine, so healthy at the end, 1.4k damage value. Still plenty left to give, and of course it has that lovely little healing aura as well, I believe. Terrorgeist doing a decent job. Just good cycle charging, good Wind of Death as well. Archaon, 1.7k. On foot, he's not too expensive. He's pretty naked as well, item-wise, so nothing too bad there. This is just such a fun build. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 aspiring champions here to keep the halberds fighting, as well as the giants and the mirror guard. The giants, unfortunately, are 698 damage value here, 1.3k. So this giant did pretty good. The other one did suffer. I could see it, but I could not avoid it. GG. Man, that's there's a few things like that. I could see the win of death, but couldn't avoid it. It will catch you out a little bit, unfortunately. So up next, let's go to the next map. Let's go Eschen. And let's see who we do have to hop in next. So it is going to be Storm. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, okay, we are on number 6 already. I missed someone out on my count early on. So Stormrunner is up. After that, we will have Legion. If both these guys can play, that will then be the end of the stream. If one of them can't, we'll get in a replacement for them or something like that. Good stuff. So let's quickly change the scoreboard here. So on OBS, on my screen, Randall's faction picker is always like up and there, so I'm always worried it's actually on show for you guys, but it should hopefully be hidden at this point. So Wei is going to go up to 2 over here. And on the right-hand side, we shall have Storm. The OP mod, as far as it goes. Moderator, not like an actual mod for the game. And when they pop in, it looks like he's here. Hello, hello. So don't worry, guys. I'm not ignoring you. I will come and oh, hello, hell. Oh no. I don't know on the end. But I'll just sort this out for you guys first before I come and vibe. So let's pop up Randall's gift once more. Interact with it. And on the left, the defending champion so far. What is he going to be getting? I know Wei is wishing for Ungrim secretly. Oh, would elves have some disgusting blobs? Yeah.
Defender of Ulf 1.
We have a L'Oreal. He'd probably be happy with that. She's very powerful. And now for the mighty Storm. What's up, Magnus? How's it going, buddy? Hope you're doing all good. Magnus is the owner of multiple Star Dragons, I believe. Oh, we just had Manfred. God damn. I do like the idea of the generic lords, but for today I think we're going to keep it with the fancy ones. Come on, there's so many factions.
Time to kill.
Deathmaster Snicketch, there we go. So we have already seen Skaven today, but it was Skrulky. So... don't worry, we will tell you. What was that? Oh, tell me if I leave the blocker up. Thank you. So, Wei is L'Oreal. I think I spelled that right. And Storm is Snicketch. Awesome stuff. We are going to be on Eschen here as the map. Can I pick the sub-faction? Yes, Wei. Yes. Yes. In fact, it's actually, I would say you'd almost have to go with the sub-faction if you get the Lord. Stormrunner, you know, can go free to go the basic because there's no real changes. Can I take the first one? Oh well, no, not the Lord we had already, I'm afraid. If he's talking about the Lord we've already had, then unfortunately not. Just spilled my beer, oh no. Yeah, Widows are pretty good in the air up against vampire counts. But it is also pretty predictable now, and all the vampire counts players bring their version of Tempest. Sorry, he has already been played. I don't want to see Manfred twice in a row, despite the fact he did do some pretty awesome stuff. Time for the meta. Oh, Wei coming in with some meta stuff, he seems to think. Only pick the sub-faction if the colours are pretty. I agree, although I think Clan Eschen's colour scheme is actually pretty gangster. I like it, it's pretty cool. I've only just realised what your name is. My cat is typing this, that's pretty funny. That's a pretty funny name. But yeah, hope you guys are enjoying. We still have at least 2 games to go. So we have the mighty Wei versus Stormrunner, and Legion will be hopping in after this as well. Legion, particularly a fantastic undead player all round as well. with some of the scary, spooky factions. We'll have to see what he does get. If you guys are enjoying, feel free to, as I said before, subscribe, thumbs up, all that good stuff. Or just, it's just, I'm happy to have you guys here chilling with us as we celebrate you here in that big 4K milestone. It's not going to be a crazy long stream today, of course, but we will be doing another stream tomorrow as well. So, yeah, you win some, you lose some. I'm very excited for tomorrow as well. It's going to be a fun stream showing off how we've done so far in the Warhammer World Championships, which is the largest ever Total War Warhammer event, I think, in general, but it's certainly the largest like competitive Warhammer event. And there's like thousands upon thousands of games just going on at the moment. So massive shout out to all the referees, if any of you are chilling in chat. I know Iron Thunder is my referee for my group. I know Aristodemus is a referee for my housemates group and stuff, and they've done a really good job organising that, particularly Moors as well from Clan VM, who did set about the entire championship and stuff, which is well, he at least was the one who got in contact with me, and it's a real cool, very what's the right word, like, oh, what's the word for it, not like bold to try and make it work, but it's very like dreamt high and like reach for the stars of it, because it's such a crazy huge clumsome beast to try and organise such a tournament like this, one across all the worlds, and they've done it, they've absolutely nailed it, they've done a really good job. So excited to show you what we've been playing in that. Looks like Mr. Way is ready to defend his crown, but the storm has cometh for him. Quack quack indeed, Sloth. Fun fact, in my Discord, if you press exclamation mark and then type quack or duck, a random picture of a duck will appear in the Discord. So it may be a bit confusing when people hop in for the first time, because the general chat is just full of ducks. It's really funny. This matchup is pretty fun. Small elite versus wide. Oh yeah. I mean, I feel like the High Elves have to go wide here themselves a little bit as well. Leon Reavers are fantastic. I honestly think full cavalry isn't too terrible here. Now Stormrunner may indeed meme and bring like full Eshin, which is very risky but can actually be pretty potent and deadly. I did it quite a lot on streams and stuff a while ago. I need to whip out the full Eshin build again. Some people did them, sent me some replays of some really good ones as well that we may end up casting. We're going to be on Eshin, which is a pretty big map though, so he may want to take advantage of the distance between the forces. You can also kind of secure a hill. There's this nice little gap in the middle, but you could deploy up here or up here. Warlock Giselles, Warp Lining Cannons, all the kind of more standard meta stuff. Poison with Mortars, of course, as well. Yeah, absolutely disgusting. Oh my god, this is a beautiful build. This is some beautiful stuff right here. So, for the forces of Way, he has a full Vanguard build, apart from Alariel. He has Lyran Reaver Archers, 3 of them in fact. Pretty good in this matchup, good at whittling down Rat Ogres and some of the larger entities because of their lack of armor. Double Tree Man. Some people may still not know this, but since the latest DLC, Tree Men and all woodland folk like this, woodland creatures, have Vanguards. So the Tree Men will lead the line of Tree Men, or lead the line of Tree Kin, sorry. I wonder why it was, what's going on? Oh, do we have a bit of lag? There we go, okay. Hopefully that's held down. So we have the Treekin with the Tree Men leading the forces. It looks like, oh no, got a little bit of lag. Hopefully it'll settle down in a second once the battle does get underway. We have a couple of Dryads as well falling just behind, and Alaria the Radiant, of course, Earthblood, Star of Avalon, and all her good items and so forth. For the forces of the Skaven, though, and the mighty Storm Runner, looks like the lag has subsided here, which is good to see. We have some Wolf Rats on the flanks, or just on the one flank, perhaps. In the front, we do have Gutter Runners with Poison, protecting a unit of Teeth Breakers. These guys are going to do disgusting damage to some of these larger threats if they're allowed to fire consistently. We have 2 units of Rat Ogres. We have Eshin Triads as well, who are going to be pivotal here. They need to stay away from those Dryads, hop on top of the Treekin, hop on top of the Tree Men, and they'll make some glorious value. We have double Death Runners as well, so it's certainly the Clan Eshin themed build. Gutter Runners with Poison in the centre. The leadership core is a Assassin mixed in with Deathmaster Snicketch, of course, coming in with all his goodies, such as the, I believe it's called the Whirling Blades, yeah, the Whirl of Weeping Blades, Deathmaster Sigil, an Assassin, of course, coming in with the really powerful Rival Hide Talisman and Assassin's Trophies, and an Eshin Sorcerer coming in with Brittle Bones. That's going to be really nice, actually. You combine Brittle Bones and those Triads on a Tree Man, it will butcher the enemy. Armor of Darkness and Warp Stars. I'm actually a big fan of the Eshin Sorcerer. I think it's a very, very underutilized character in the Skaven roster, but it just suffers from the fact that the other casters are so good because summons are really powerful. That troop count is worryingly low. Rip me if I'm running into weapon teams. Only the one weapon team. Only the one. Where are you, Duck? Your English is very good for a non-native speaker. Well, that's because I am natively English. I'm from England. Yeah, I'm from England. Well, I'm from you know, the realms of Lustria secretly at heart, trying to have a duck who escaped the swamps and has come to try and infiltrate Britain. But I am actually British. My accent is southern British, I suppose, is the best way to put it. Like, I'm from along the coast, so it's a little bit different from other English you may have heard before. England has some, like a pretty generic, I think, overall, for the most part. You'll understand if someone's from England, but there are also some accents, obviously. Like, you know, places like Scotland, Wales, the Midlands, it all kind of bounces around. For such a small country, you have a lot of accents. Yeah, L'Oreal obviously has the vibe at the back. Because she doesn't have Vanguard, unfortunately. Well, I do have teams. He does have teams. He's got little teams of Triads rolling dirty for his troops. This should be a really good fun game. I'm very excited. The big problem are honestly going to be these Dryads. He needs to get them off the field, get the Death Runners on them, and store them as quickly as possible. And then the Triads and the Teeth Breakers need to focus down the large threats, because if they don't, they're going to be in big trouble. Instantly, Wei realizes it's a mistake and is going to start falling back. A little bit of lag, unfortunately, from these two guys coming in. Of course, it does happen when people are collecting from all around the world and all that good stuff. The Elaine Reavers are going to be really key here. Yeah. Sorry, guys, need a little sip of my drink. So, unfortunately here, for the warriors of the Skaven force, they don't have too much to do with the Reavers. Now, they've come a little tiny bit too close, so the Teeth Breakers may be able to absolutely annihilate them. This is really risky. They're actually coming in for the charge. Oh, the Teeth Breakers should have shot. They do so much damage, and then just can punch with the Rat Ogres anyway. It looks like the Rat Ogres are going to be able to save them. We are getting an Earthblood down on the Reavers. Oh no, guys! I've had both these guys play on the channel before, but I don't think up against each other. Looks like the lag is really suffering here, as it looks like there's now a misclick from the Earthblood, and it might actually heal no one, which is really unlucky stuff. Reavers have been forced back. Teeth Breakers are alive and active once more. They could focus on Alarielle in this situation, try to whittle her down, because combined fire from them, as well as Guts Runners, would do an absolute number on her. And oh my god, she's been lit up! Ooh, L'Oreal, what are you doing? She's trying to juke back and forth, but that is just disgusting. Down to about half health straight out the gate. A Star of Avalon's going to need to be popped really early. Ryoga's charging into Tradekin, maybe a bit of a mistake here. They're needed to clear this back line. Looks like one of the Truman is going to push in. Alarielle may die here, guys. Rat and Teeth Breakers just dagger all day, pummeling Alarielle. She is broken. That's probably for the best, because she now will take the quickest route away from here. The Treeman has now forced his way back into the Teeth Breakers. Triads need to be over here, but it looks like they committed to the front line instead, doing a big number on top of the Treekin. But they are saturated in as well by Dryads, and Alarielle does shatter. My god, it looks like the Eshin Sorcerer is going to Kobe some stars at her as well. Reavers are lurking to come back into the fray. There are some Wolf Rats with poison who may be able to hunt them down. And Guts Runner is going to be a good counter to the Reavers for the most part, as long as they don't get run over. Teeth Breakers are going to be falling back. These guys are going to have some insane damage value by the end. The unit of Triads, which was vibing at the back, trying to pin in the Treeman, has fallen. But Double Assassin with the Death Runners should do a decent job, as the Treeman, who's currently slapping some fools in slow-mo, it does have the Weeping Blade effect pops on him, which is minus 50 armor, down to 55, going to allow all these rats to do some pretty decent work. Ryoga's realised the mistake and are going to be falling back. Treekin ain't 9 to F with, as they have had to fall back. But now Death Runner's going to be popping onto a Dryad. It's a really nice pickup for the Death Runners there, as Eshin Triads on this right-hand side have isolated some Treekin, and that engagement is absolutely fine to take, with Guts Runners applying poison as well. Teeth Breakers have managed to survive. They're going to be falling back once more, as the Liam Reavers have managed to dart into their lines. Rat Ogres were broken on this left-hand side, and they were one of their last bastions of protection. Despite the fact that Lara's gone down here, this could be a really close game if the Teeth Breakers are forced off. Rat Ogres need to disengage and slam home onto the Reavers, because if the Teeth Breakers can shoot into all these troops, onto the Treemen, they'll do some pretty disgusting work. Looks like the Wolf Rats with poison going to be coming in for a rear charge on the Tree King, who are lacking on leadership at this point. It's going to free up the Eshin Triads as well, because when these guys do break, you simply allow the Wolf Rats to hunt them down and chase them off the battlefield. Yeah, and they've broken there. Now you disengage these Triads, you whip them around, and look at all this glorious back you can attack. You can attack the Tree King, more Tree King, Treemen, all that good stuff. In the back, it looks like the Assassin has been disengaged to try and force off the Illyrian Reavers with the help of some Triads as well. And the Teeth Breakers are now going to turn it to engage. I don't know if they're going to be able to get a volley off quick enough, though. They do. A few shots are laced in here to the Illyrian Reavers. These guys do, in fact, get slowed as well. Minus 36% speed, which will also lower their charge bonus as well. Looks like they are indeed going to be broken. Guts Runners doing really used very well here in the back line to protect the Teeth Breakers. So you still have, relatively okay models, which I believe is a 16 now. A lot of the central portion of the Higher Forces has now started to break. One tree man is running. Brittle Bones was popped on him. Now, fun fact, you can overcast Brittle Bones and make it area of effect, which is absolutely disgusting, which is what I quite like doing with it. And now Ratogers and Etch and Tried saturate on top of these guys. I mean, Brittle Bones, so you get minus 40 armor, 9 vigor, and 24% speed, plus the Weakened Blade, minus 50 armor. That is a really lovely combo, and it looks like Stormrunner is going to be snatching that crown off the top of the head there of the mighty Wei, who did have 2 victories. So Stormrunner, if he wins the next game, will tie up with 3-2-2-2, which will be pretty impressive. Which, if that happens, we'll probably do an extra game just to round it up. But if Legion wins, we will be ending it there. But really fun stuff. Deathmaster Snickage, 786. Eshin Sorcerer didn't get to do too much, neither did the Assassin. Eshin Tried, though, pretty solid. 300 damage value here, 600. Not too good, actually. The Death Runners, 400 and 400. So nothing crazy damage value across the board. The Gutter Runners with Poison are very good, by the way. Unit in general, 750, 700. Ratogers did a K as well, so nothing too crazy. And then all of a sudden, boom, boom, boom. You look down here, the Ratogers, the Teeth Breakers, 2.3k damage value, 5,000 damage dealt. Assassinating Ariel, putting that Pigeon Queen in her place. And yeah, Archers did a pretty good job, but apart from that, nothing got particularly good value. So it's kind of the game of no one getting good value, but the higher leadership breaking and falling. GG. It looks like Legion is here, super quick. Stormrunner fun build. Oh yeah, man, that was some real good fun stuff. So we'll be switching up to Alpine Ridge. And let's quickly sort out... I didn't leave Rounders one up. No, I did not. Perfect. The scores. So Storm is going up to 1 now. We will take away Wei's points, of course, but he has now tied. Let's write that down with Need for Life. With 2 wins each, and let's select Wei. Change that. For We Are Legion. I believe he spells it with the O. As a 0, like that. Hopefully that's right, and we'll see who he does get first. Let's pop up the beautiful Randall's Gift. Which is a really cool... This is really cool that these guys actually made this, by the way. It's super dope. And it looks like he is going to be getting, so this is on the left-hand side, yes, so that is going to be Legion. He should be getting Azhag the Slaughterer, which is pretty good stuff. Good to see him in action. He's actually quite powerful, but just because, unfortunately, of the other lords as well in the roster being very good, you don't get to see him terribly often right now. It's mainly a Big Grom on his Character Scar Snake in action. So, he is going to be up against... Oh, no, sorry, Manfred, you have already been chosen today. Oh yeah, Poison Mortars are disgusting, honestly. They're so disgusting. Oh, mate, this Randall's Gift loves giving us the same lords over and over. Rats are slightly OP, says Hank. Oh yes. Skaven, well, it's not even that horrible. I think there's been more horrible things. We have quick head taker. There's going to be more rats. We've seen a lot of rats today, actually. So we've seen... Skrulk you see quite often anyway, but then Snickage you see a little less often, and Queek Headtaker, I don't remember the last time I saw him whatsoever, so it's going to be good to see him in action. So, oh, do you want a Raps map? Oh god, no, no, no. Maybe if we go further on, and it has to keep going, then we're probably in. So Legion is Azhag, and Storm is going to be continuing with the Rats. And going with Queek. Legion saying rip. I mean, you've got Greenskins, probably the second most powerful faction in the game, so. Storm demands Manfred. No Storm, bad Storm. We've already seen the OP Manfred. And his cartilage he can reap. Sloth wants Nakai. Man, I want Nakai as well, for sure. For sure. Extra rip. Yeah, Skaven are quite good, but I don't think this matchup's like past Greenskins whatsoever. They're one of the best swarm factions in the game. We're on Alpine Ridge, there's a giant shot blocker, skirmish cav as well, and Legion can play Greenskins relatively well as well, I'm pretty sure. He's actually in my housemates group in the WWC, and I think was getting some tips on him, as for those who don't know, Logic, who is also a YouTube content creator, is also my housemate as well, like childhood friend, so... The cheeser becomes the cheese. So yeah, Snickitch has upgraded to quick head taker here. Which is always good to see. I'm having a little sip of my drink here to stay alive. So because it's got to the final game, I don't think Legion can unfortunately win today. I think he can come in and try and take the crown though, and be crowned champion at the end of the day. But if Stormrunner wins, then we have a three-way tie, so we'll probably have to do one more game after that. But obviously if Legion wins, we'd then have to kind of keep going, and then that person wins, we'd keep going, so it would end up never ending. So that is how we're going to operate today. Oh, don't get me started on, it should be Sharoy. I mean, they should have spelled it differently, is my argument. Yeah, people hate the way I say, like, I'm trying to think how I do it, because I normally do it in battle, like, war lines of either chase or charace, which I've heard other streamers say, but then people come and say, like, no, that's wrong, say it this way, so I don't say it anymore. I just say white lines, or, you know, white line chariots or whatever. I understand that. I understand people get annoyed with the way stuff's pronounced, but I'm a little bit less fussed of it, because at the end of the day, you know, people know what you're talking about. But I understand. Logic is here, indeed. No undead for Legion. No undead. But he's Greenskins, so it is literally the battle of the top two factions in the game right now. Skaven swiftly followed behind by Greenskins. I'd say Vampire Coast is still pretty high up, but not on the same level as these two. Wood Elves now very good, but not as good as people make them out to be, and they're also, you have to be pretty good with them to actually make them work rather well. Where I think some of the other factions are a bit more easy for newer players. Let's just double check quickly, no messages on Discord. Oh, don't worry, guys. So I've seen people like saying, what if I don't have all the lords? We just won't worry about those lords, man. Yeah, if Big Bobo, the PvE lord, is here as well, say hello, dude. So I was messaging him before. I think he wanted to do some games, but we are streaming. And it looks like we're good. We've got no questions. We don't have the blocker up on the screen. Good stuff. Good stuff. I am here. Did I miss something? You've missed a few games, I think. So this could be the last game here. Stormrunner is currently trying to fight for the crown. He did dethrone Wei, who in turn had dethroned Noob for Life. And the Circle of Carnage goes on, of course, as always. How do you like being buoyant? Swimming for ducks in tea. Unfortunately, I don't drink tea. Oh, I love that. Joel says, no, I mate, used to live in London, so I'm used to bad English. Oh, yeah. I live in London now. I'm from the south originally, but I've been in London for about 2 years. Or maybe 2.5 years, actually, about this point. And, yeah. Let's say the English is evolving. There we go. I've actually been to the Nottingham headquarters as well, Mike had his typing this. I played a couple of tabletop games there way back in the day when I was like 14. In a couple of the big world tournaments, actually, which is kind of wild. Because I basically had, you know, an understanding of the rules, but I didn't have anywhere near an in-depth enough one. Because competitive Warhammer, I'm not the biggest fan of. I understand it, and I appreciate it. And I think the actual game itself, like the tabletop game I'm speaking of, is really good fun. But competitive tabletop Warhammer, I should say. I love competitive Total War Warhammer. But competitive tabletop is just like, you have to know the rules in everyone's books. I feel like there's a lot of cheating, or like small, like people trying to gain inches here and there and all that type of stuff, not measuring stuff correctly, arguing. It's not fun. Maybe fantasy's a bit different, but that's what I've seen from 40k. I have actually taken part in a few tournaments the last couple of, well, dotted throughout, like, you know, 2 years ago I played in a tournament, came mid-table, I think, did rather well. And I played a duos tournament with a friend of mine who was actually, for the most of, I want to say last year or the year before, was the #1 greenskin player in the world. He's very good, but he loves all that stuff. He's very good with it, and he's got good memory, so he knows like the rules for everything, pretty much, which you need to have, unfortunately. But for the forces of the Greenskins here, and the mighty Legion coming to the table, we do have goblins dotted through the front line, as well as some knight goblins. So 8 piglins in the mix, basically just trying to swarm and wrap around, get into the enemy backline if there is going to be one. Looks like there will actually be some stuff for him to get into the goodie bag of. Up in the skies, we have Azag the Slaughterer on his mighty Wyvern. Now, of course, he could be shot down, which is a bit of a problem for him, but he does have Doom and Darkness and Spirit Leech, 2 very good competitive spells. We have a bucket ton of Stone Trolls, 1, 2, 3. Stone Trolls are very powerful at the moment in current meta. We have the Moon Howlers over on the right-hand side. We have Goblin Wolf Rider Chariots, and a ton more Spiders as well, I'm predicting. Yeah, it looks like we've got Spiders, Spider Rider Archers, and Standard Spiders. Looks like a little bit more lag again. It might be coming in, unfortunately, from Storm, because we didn't have any lag before, and now in both the games we've had a little bit. We have Snotling Pump Wagons, one of which is the Flappers as well. Oh, so good to see these guys in action. I remember in early access, everyone said these guys would be like the most OP thing in existence, and then they came out and they weren't that great. But that does happen, because obviously you all try and use stuff out against each other, and you don't have them up against every faction. For Stormrunner, we have Wolf Rats with Poison lurking in the wings. Well, looks like there's a nice little Vanguard on the other flank as well by the Greenskins. And front line, Skaven slaves, they've been forced to fight here today. Not going to be too happy about it, no doubt. But they are going to be putting their lives on the line to protect some Poison Wind Mortars, who in turn are protected by Warp Grinders, who in return are protected by Teeth Breakers. Lovely little triple threat. We have a ton of Skaven slaves with slings dotted throughout. And yeah, pretty cool stuff. More Wolf Rats as well. We have a Pack Master on the Brood Horror, of course, which is why Echo's most powerful. And it's going to be rolling dirty here with the Regiment Renowned Mutant Rat Ogre. I'm surprised I haven't seen this guy as much as we probably should in competitive play. Warp Discharge is really nice. He's got pretty good stats, and rolling dirty with Brood Horror can be quite nasty. We live the Council Guard, Regiment Renowned Storm Vermin, having unbreakable troops in a Skaven force is so just scary. And we have Quick Head Taker, of course, in the middle of them. Look at him go. He's such a madman. Quick's got some really cool lore as well. Really cool character model and stuff in the game, so I wish we got to see him a bit more. And that's kind of cool for about this King of the Hill, right? So we have Dwarf Gouger, Trophy Heads, Stand or Die, Verminous Valor, Warp Shard Armor as well. For that minus 23 armor and 5 melee defense, it's actually pretty damn impressive. No way did he forget a Spellcaster. No way. Is he hidden in here? Oh, we have an Assassin and a no spells coming in from Storm. Okay. The absolute mad lads. So we have the 3 characters, no casters. This is some wild stuff for sure. I think bringing a caster is always worth it. Every single matchup you should bring a caster. Yeah, Logic knows what I'm talking about. Good old Simone is a Greenskin tabletop legend. He is the scariest Greenskin player ever, because Greenskins aren't meant to be good 40k tabletop wise, and he just wins like every tournament with them. He's managed to break them quite nicely. But hey, Mortars are now rain fired down. It looks like they are going after the Goblins to start. I'm not going to get too much great value here, but they will kill a decent amount of models, which is always good to add to your kill count. And again, they can't see the Night Goblins at the moment. They don't really have too many good targets, just what I like about this Greenskin build. Yeah, sure, you can bring the very powerful Mortars. I don't care. You're going to be killing Goblins. They're not very good against doing damage up against single entities, but they will clear through the chaff relatively quickly, which is okay. In come the Flappers and Azag. Oh no, Azag, don't do an Alariel. Don't do it. He's getting laced here by the Teeth Breakers. Massive damage out of the gate. Down about a third of his health. He had to come in to get that Spirit Leech, and it looks like he did pop him on Quick Head Taker. No healing for Quick, of course. And now the front lines are engaged, and it's going to get very messy for the Skaven, because this back line is going to get penetrated so quickly. Azag just down to below half health. Teeth Breakers are such a good unit. Again, another unit which we saw more. I don't know why we don't see them as often. I mean, they're a little bit niche and hard to use, I suppose. Doom Darkness has gone down on top of the mighty Helion here, or Helion, but I don't think it's going to do too much work, to be honest. He's now forced off those Forest Goblin Spiral Eyes, but needs to pull back. Stormrunner needs to play really tight defensively, because there's so many, problems here. We have Chariots coming in, Moon Howlers, Teeth Breakers can't shoot them all. It looks like the Poison Wind Mortars are kind of being used here just to sacrifice and hold back the enemy. And the Warp Grinders did pin these guys in place, but then have been broken, and that actually takes away the pin-in aspect. Snotling Pump Wagon has taken some pretty big burst damage from the Teeth Breakers, but they are currently obstructed slightly by some of their own troops. They're not actually firing as much as they should do, not doing that insane burst damage. And the front line for the Skaven's just completely broken, and it's looking really bad for them now. Yeah, they've got these really expensive Teeth Breakers left alive and the Council Guard, but there is so many Goblins just swarming the battlefield left, right, and centre. Yeah, he did a ton of damage to Azag, but it's not going to be enough, I don't think. Wolf Rats in the distance have been forgotten. They need to come back into action and really try and help stem the tide, as the Teeth Breakers are really struggling at this point. Saying that, you know, they did do good damage early on. Guard fighting side by side by Quick Headtaker, going to do a decent job up against the trolls for the most part. The more pump wagons as well as Forest Goblin Spy Riders are going to come in, really surrounding and buckling this Skaven force. The Healing's not doing too bad a job, but is now surrounded by stone trolls. He does do magic damage, which isn't actually going to come to play here, so I don't know why I bother bringing that up, but it's just a fun fact. And the Packmaster is going to be bouncing over to try and assist and help. Doom Darkness has been popped on the Teeth Breakers, and they are now running for their lives. It wasn't Overcast, though, air effect or anything like that. Spirit Leech once again gone down on Quick Headtaker, always been very good up against Skaven Lords in general because of the lack of regeneration. And with Quick going down and buckling like this, Balance Pie is going really heavy as a big war has been popped in favour of the Greenskin forces. The Mutant Rat Ogre Regiment Renowned here is really struggling. It's trying to go toe-to-toe with the Stone Trolls with the Packmaster, but Stone Trolls are just so disgustingly powerful. And they're really kind of swarming and overwhelming him for the most part. And it looks like that is going to be GG. Stormrunner? Oh, just saying he was ready, but that's alright. Sometimes that lags for some reason. Slippery has been popped, as well as Rival Hide Talisman, just trying to keep these troops fighting. The Quick Headtaker is running for the hills. The Assassin is now taking charge of the battlefield with the Council Guard, who are down to 52 models, and they simply get dragged down by Goblins. And a nice dominant victory there by Legion after a really nice initial snipe attempt by Stormrunner. Quick, of course, didn't do very good, neither did much, to be honest, on the Skaven force. They really did suffer quite badly. Council Guard, though, 1.1k damage value was really nice. It was just a bit too much of a small build for the wide Goblin. This is definitely how you should play Greenskins. There's no memes here. This is super competitive. And I'd recommend bringing this build if you do struggle up against the Skaven forces. They had 99 kills here on the Regiment Renowned, but yeah, not really getting too much value. That was on cheaper line troops. The Teeth Breakers, though, 1.4k damage value. Dagger, dagger, dagger all day. Did some really good work. Unfortunately, the Poison Wind Mortars had no good targets. Now, the Solid Pump Wagons are pretty hilarious and very good at pushing into the back lines. Stone Trolls have the punch. 1.2k on this unit was kind of, you know, the standout performer here. Moon Howlers, Forest Goblin, Spider Rider Archers, and so forth as well. Not much damage on any of these guys, but they just swarmed and took down the big key targets. Azeg as well, despite the fact he got nuked early on, still nearly got 1,000 damage value just from spamming that Spirit Leech, which is very powerful stuff. GG, well played. I'm afraid so, yes. But you will get first option in the next King of the Hill. So, because Legion, we don't have time to like keep going, you know, because if someone else beats Legion, then they'll want to keep going as well. Because Legion does remain as the kind of end king here, he will get the first King of the Hill option given to him next time we do stream at King of the Hill. Really awesome stuff. So GG to Legion. Let's update the scoreboard here. He will fall as the last king, or the last king not to fall, in fact, as Storm does go down there with one victory, which means we have a tie, which is, I believe, between Way and Noob for Life, both getting 2 wins apiece. Really awesome stuff. But let's go to the scores. Add Legion in to the 1-0, and say goodbye to Storm there as well. So Legion is the final king. Really awesome stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed. Before you do go, I've got a few words for you guys, as well as I'll send you guys over to another streamer so you can invade them and yell quack aggressively at them as much as possible, and we can chill out and chat a little while longer. So yeah, if you guys enjoy, make sure to, you know, thumbs up, subscribe, all that good standard stuff. But most importantly, guys, thank you so much for the support of us hitting 4,000 subscribers. It is pretty wild. It's certainly come a long way, the YouTube channel, in the last like year even, I could say, but even the last couple of months it's continued to grow. And it's really cool to see so many familiar faces and new faces coming back all the way through. And yeah, really glorious stuff. So guys, hope you enjoy, and let's hunt down another YouTuber. Let's see who's streaming. Let's see. I believe if Darv's still streaming, I'll definitely send you over there, because I accidentally cross-streamed with him, which can be known to happen, unfortunately, by me. There's a lot of people who tend to stream at the exact same time, which is really annoying by sound. So it looks like Darv is still streaming. So guys, please, 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 Darv is an amazing caster. So we're going to go invade Darv. I'm going to drop a load of links to his channel quickly. So go over there and just scream quack. Just say quack, 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 quack. Not so much that it annoys him, but just say quack, tag him, be like quack, quack. Let him know that I sent you over, and I'll come join you guys in a second as well. Now let me replay that with the other 2 lords I got. Demands a Stormrunner. Manfred's too OP, man. He's too OP. The Regiment Round looks so sick. Oh yeah, man. The Regiment Round Gigantic Ogre looks so sick. Yeah, Greenskins very good in this matchup, I think, personally. So yeah, guys, Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do the likes, says my cat is typing. Yes, indeed. Thanks. No worries, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you guys did enjoy Ice Power. We will get you on the next time, hopefully. Unfortunately, I haven't had Ice Power on the channel for a while because he keeps winning stuff and therefore qualifying and not taking part in the next one. But guys, until next time, peace, peace. And as always, stay awesome.